Hello everyone, the story I'm going to share today is his son's advice. This story took place during the Southern Song Dynasty. A villager lived in Pingyu County of Henan. All the villagers called him Old Zhang. He supported himself and his wife by catching birds. The couple had a son when they were 50 years old. One day, Old Zhang's son suddenly died. His parents wept bitterly day and night. They were getting old and were worried that no one would take care of them. 3 days after they buried their son, Old Zhang went to the tomb. He wept and called his son's name. Suddenly, he heard moaning from inside the tomb. He was shocked and overjoyed and shouted, "My son's back!" He frantically broke open the tomb. To his surprise, his son was truly alive. He was too overjoyed to weep. Old Zhang hurriedly carried his son home. The child started to tell his father everything he saw in hell. The son said, "I was brought to the room where the head of the hell sat. I pleaded with him and said, 'My parents are getting old. Please let me go back and to take care of them. As their son, I must fulfill my filial responsibilities. After they die, you can take me back here." The head of the hell was sympathetic and said, "I will send you back, but you must tell your father that he has to stop killing birds. If he listens to me, your lifespan will be extended." When he heard this, Old Zhang was surprised. He immediately burned all the tools he used to catch birds, then took his son to the temple to pay their respect to Buddha. When they got to the temple, they met a monk named Lu. As soon as Old Zhang's son saw him, he asked, "Have you also returned from hell?" Monk Lu replied, "I never died. Why would you ask me this?" The son said, "I saw you in hell. You were tied to a copper pillar, and your feet were bound to iron chains. The jailer beat your armpits so heavily that your blood flowed across the floor. When I was released from hell, I asked why you had to suffer so much. The jailer explained that you promised to read the scriptures for people who gave you alms. But you were not serious. You omitted many places when you recited the scriptures. Then you have to repay them by suffering." Monk Lu was shocked when he heard this, because 3 years ago he developed a condition that caused leaking sores in his armpits. How could the boy know this? Monk Lu knew that he must change. From then on, he read the scriptures for every person that he made a promise to. 3 years later, the condition was gone. From this story, we know that killing indeed causes people karma, which they have to repay by suffering. Ancient people also respected and took care of their parents. Of course, it's even more important to respect the gods. Thank you very much for listening to the story. More touching stories will be ready for you if you just subscribe it. Thank you again.